I'm never buying yarn again. Well, that's a bit dramatic. It's March 12th, 2026, and today marks 100 days of not buying yarn. And I was successful. You might be thinking to yourself, Kerra, how hard is it to just not buy yarn? Like, just don't put yourself in situations that would lead you to be buying yarn. Well, I try. And number 2, fiber arts is my career. I work at a yarn shop. And for those of you that have ever worked retail, you know how enticing that employee discount is. Not just as a retail employee, but I also do marketing. I do some hand dyeing for the shop. And I also teach. So, like, I'm literally surrounded by fiber arts every day, all the time. Like, it's my passion, and it's hard to not be excited about new things that revolve around fiber arts. And I'm constantly being inspired by my coworkers, by our customers, by friends, everywhere. I see stuff and I'm like, I want to make that, and I want to make it right now. As I have been doing that in the past, I have an entire dresser sitting right over there full of unmade projects. Like, I have the yarn and the pattern purchased. I just haven't made the things. My Ravelry queue is about 30 projects long. I also have some financial goals that I would like to achieve, and I've never been a saver. I've always been a spender. So I am trying to do the saving this year. I need to get a new car. That requires saving of the funds. So I'm finally, actually wanting to sit down and do a budget, and I've been doing pretty okay at following said budget. You know, the only thing that trips me up is when unexpected stuff comes up. But anyways, that's not the point of this video. The point of this video is that I'm going to keep not buying yarn. Well, actually, this is going to be a regular-ish podcast episode where I talk about what I've been working on for the last however many months it's been since I've filmed one of these. But I am going to keep going and see how much longer I can go without buying yarn. Like, I want to go through and make those projects that I've already spent the money on and plan to do. Well, that's part of it. Most of the projects that I have are more accessories, or I have a couple sweaters or tops, and I find that I am more of a garment knitter than an accessory knitter, so I want to keep it to only making one sweater at a time, because historically I've not done that. And if I want to make an accessory, I have to pull it out of one of my already purchase projects. So yes, I am going to continue not buying yarn, but once I run out of sweaters to knit, then I'm allowed to buy a sweater's quantity of yarn at a time. Like, I have to finish the sweater before I'm allowed to buy any other garment yarn. And accessory wise, I have a dresser full of them, and I do have stash that's not planned, and by God do I have a gigantic pile of sock yarn and now hand spun. So I have a lot of stuff to play with that I already own. I have a lot to keep myself entertained for this year, maybe even for 2 whole years if I really wanted to, I think. Because I have not only yarn stash, I have fiber stash, and I have 7 fleeces. More than I should, so I'm definitely going to be working on processing those this summer. Once it's nice out, I can do some scouring. I'm really excited for that. On Monday, we had a 70-degree day, and I did consider washing a fleece, but I was like, Kerra, I have way more important things that I need to be doing. There will be other nice days. Just have to be patient. So let's jump into the things I have been making recently. What I'm currently wearing is one of my recent finished objects. This is the Lakes Pullover by Ozetta. and I made it in Barocco Remix Worsted, which is a 100%, wait, the label's right over here. Yeah, it is 100% recycled fibers. So it is recycled nylon, cotton, acrylic, silk, and linen. It's this wonderful little tweed, and it's much softer than it looks. Like, I'm always telling people when they come in the shop to touch Remix because it is so much softer than it looks. Like, it looks really rustic and scratchy, but it is not at all. And so I really enjoyed knitting with this yarn. So this is a saddle shoulder construction, and I really like how this turned out. I think I might have picked up too many stitches for the collar. Usually when I pick up stitches for stuff, I don't count. I just make sure I have enough, like a multiple of 2 for the ribbing, because in the pattern photo it's a much more like fitted collar. But I don't hate it, and I would knit this again. So if I do, I'll do better on the collar. And there's also a v-neck version that I would like to make someday. Just the picture that Ozetta has for the pattern, like, it's the gray v-neck with the white tee under. Like, it's so gay. I also have to have it. Also, okay, tell me why I had 4 sweaters in progress at the same time. Nobody needs that, but that's what happened. Anyways, the next sweater that I completed, I think it was in January and February was when I completed these sweaters. So the next one I completed is the Brady Loops sweater by Other Loops, and I knit it in Cascade Woolpaca, and Woolpaca Light is the DK weight version, and I love this yarn. I'm so glad we decided to bring it in. We didn't bring in the DK weight. We brought in the worsted weight. It's so good. I love this sweater. The sweater came out so good. The cables, to die for. This is also another saddle shoulder construction. I've been curious about the saddle shoulder construction, so I explored it, and I kind of liked it. And I love like the 8x2 rib. It's just so classic, and I could dress it down or up, and because it's an alpaca blend, it's so warm. Need to wear it more. I've been wearing this guy a lot. This guy and my other recent finish object, so I should wear this more before it starts warming up, and I can't wear it. That's the Brady Loops. My next finished object is the Rue sweater by Rebecca Clow. I decided to make this a cardigan, so I steeked it. And steeking was on my list for techniques to learn this year, so check that off, and it really wasn't scary. I will probably be doing it again. If I ever want a colorwork cardigan, steek, absolutely, 100%, all the way. So this was my first button band too. I opted for a ribbed button band instead of the double knit button band that I enjoy the look of more, simply because this was the first time I was doing a button band. I had these buttons in my stash. They don't quite match, but they work out perfectly. I think I will be looking for buttons at Sheep and Wool. There's this awesome vendor there that I think it's Dusty's Buttons. Like, that's the whole booth is just buttons, and they don't have an online shop or anything. You can only shop where they vend at. So they do all sorts of fiber festivals. I've never had a reason to buy buttons, so I did tell myself last year that I would knit something in order to look at buttons there this year. I did that too. Wow. Look at me doing the things that I said I would. Pretty proud of myself. Anyways, I knit this in Rauma Finalgarn and Rowan Moordale, which is an alpaca blend. I love it. I definitely can't wear it with like a short sleeve under it, simply because my arms are sensitive to scratchy things, especially this time of year. Thanks, eczema. So I try to like prevent any itchiness. So I definitely have to wear a long sleeve shirt under, but that's really not a big deal for me. Moordale, it's not the alpaca blend that's itchy, it's the Rauma that's a little bit itchier. But these two yarns were perfect for the steek, so that's why I chose them. So that was fun, and Oh, and this was I just finished up the class for this sweater, and this one is a contiguous shoulder, which stems from a saddle shoulder, and it makes a really nice fitting shoulder. I would definitely do it again. And I may or may not have restarted this 3 times, because I thought my gauge was off, so I restarted it, and then I realized that I was not knitting the size I had intended, which is why it wasn't fitting. But I got there, and the last time I restarted it, I was homesick for like a week, so I finished this in 12 days. Bruh. All I did was work on this. That's the fastest I've ever knit a garment. And I doubt that will ever happen again, because unless I happen to get sick and start a project at the same time again, which will probably happen. The chances of that are not 0. That's the Rue, and this is the other garment I've been wearing a ton recently, just because I'm so proud of it, and it looks so good. My last finished garment from the last couple months is the zipper sweater by Petite Knit, and this was also a class that I taught, so people could learn how to sew a zipper into their knitting. And it really isn't that difficult, just like steeking. A lot of things in knitting seem like they are difficult, but once you do them, you're like, oh, that was actually stupid easy. This is the 3rd time I've done this pattern, and I knit this one in not my size. I knit it in my partner's size so that they could steal it from me, thus circumventing the sweater curse. I think I had my partner try it on once, and it fits them perfectly. So I'm pretty proud of myself for that. Moving on to current whips. We're gonna nix the knitting needle holder because I need both hands. My current sweater project is the Moby sweater by Petite Knit. I will show you the back. I think I'm almost at the point to join the underarms together. So this is the back panel. And I am knitting this in Jupiter Moon Rambouillet. And when we got this yarn in, I knew that I needed to make a cabled sweater with it. And the way that the cable just perfectly lines up over, this is where the join between the front and the back panel is amazing. So yeah, I have the neckline, I'm on the front panel. I haven't worked on this in 2 weeks. Yeah, I don't think I've worked on this in a couple weeks because I went home to Michigan and started another project on the drive there that I have not been able to put down. And that is the Night Shift by Andrea Mowry. Let me show you all of my colors. So this is about half hand spun, half commercial yarn. I think at this point it might be more hand spun than commercial yarn. Purple background on this section is Black Cat, which that's not even commercial, that's a hand dye. So I guess it's mostly yarn that I made versus yarn that I didn't make. So I've got the purples, my hand spun, all those yellows, and then in here, this is the green yarn that I had left over from the Brady Loop sweater. And all this blue is my hand spun. This beige is some leftover Rauma I had from my project last year or 2 years ago. And then everything in this section is my hand spun. So the background is this blue, and spots are the same hand spun from this section. So I have started right here where these are single versus, so from here, from the dark to right before these orange spots is one section. And then I changed the accent yarn here, but it doesn't look like I did. So I might find a different yarn to use in that section. I haven't decided yet. I started this on the drive to Michigan. It's a 6-hour drive because I live in Wisconsin. And I literally haven't been working on hardly anything else. I've worked on a pair of socks that I'm making for my friend, and this, and that's about it. The last couple months, I've been a little bit more monogamous in my knitting than I have in the past. In the past, I've picked one of my projects to be the main focus, but depending on what I feel like knitting, I might work on something else in tandem, which is why I usually have my average whip count is 4 to 6 at one time, which is a little ridiculous, but that was my jam. But recently I've been more on, I'll pick one project and focus on that one and maybe work on one other project. So that's why this has, like, I've knit all of this in 2 weeks. And I haven't touched my Moby sweater, which I should get back to so I can finish it and wear it before it gets too warm out there to wear it. I don't want to knit it and then not have a chance to wear it for 6 months, you know? And this project was semi-unplanned. Like, okay, Fred, can you not? I'm almost done. So I did have, I wouldn't say plans, but I did want to spin yarn specifically for a night shift. So that's on my radar. But when I was going on this trip, I was like, I need something that's kind of mindless, but isn't just stocking it. So I raided my stash to find some stuff, and it's coming out really good. This pattern is just so, like, I only read the pattern when I was doing the start, when I was doing the setup, and then once you get, like, you know, this far, you're like, okay, I don't even need the pattern anymore. So I literally have not been looking at the pattern. I'm gonna go until I decide it's big enough and then do the I-cord bind off and call it a day. And it's been a great yarn eater. But yeah, I just need to reevaluate my colors for this section. We'll see. What else have I been working on? Oh, I'm currently hand spinning to make a jaunty by Andrew Mowry, which is a half fisherman's rib, triangular shawl scarf. Is it a shawl or is it a scarf? I guess it depends how big you end up making it. So I just finished the first single last night and starting on the second one. And that's going to be like, it's like a rainbow fish inspired yarn. Like, I picked up the colorful braid, and when I bought it, I was like, this reminds me of rainbow fish. So I bought it. Had no plans on what to do with it. But I finally figured out what it's going to be when it grows up. So that's really the only other project I have. I am waiting on, well, my sister is getting married next month, and she asked me to make hand fasting cords for their ceremony. So I am waiting on some yarn in the right colors to arrive tomorrow. And no, that yarn purchase doesn't count because it was requested for my sister's freaking wedding. So that does, in my book, that does not count because that's for a very special occasion. So I think I'm going to do a kumihimo. A kumihimo? I don't know where the accents are in kumihimo, but I'm going to do that kind of weaving. So I got some cotton for that arriving tomorrow, hopefully, and then I can work on that this weekend. So yeah, I am hoping, I obviously haven't done a very good job so far, to get back into my regular podcasts like these in addition to my current fiber study. My schedule has just been really busy, so I haven't had as much editing time as I would like. But yeah, so I will keep checking in on how knitting through my Ravelry queue is going. Like I said, I think I just want to see how much further I can take this challenge that I did for myself. It's kind of fun. And, like, people have asked me, like, oh, how many days do you have left? And I'll be like, 5. Like, I'm proud of myself, but it also wasn't hard, which is good. It was so funny. A lot of people that I've talked to about it are like, you're not done yet? Like, it's definitely been 100 days. Nope. It's only been 80. But I made it. That's 100 days. I made it to 100 days. So, yeah, maybe I'll put out a video going through my queue, talk about what order I'm going to do, what's on deck, kind of stuff. We'll see. Yeah, that about wraps up everything I have for you today. Thanks for sticking around. Are you doing a no buy or a low buy this year? I'd love to know if you are and how that's going for you. I appreciate you, and I will see y'all in the next one. Happy crafting! Bye!